We can go ahead and get started with this Spriggan Arcane Marksman of Gozag. Game number 18 in the Elliptic Streak. Really weird progression in this game, honestly. Only one rune collected, and it's slime, which is really bizarre. But at the same time, we got sort of locked off from finishing up Snake and Shoals. However, now that we have D-Missile online, I feel pretty safe. Pretty safe about wrecking Snake 4. Our spell power is not exactly amazing on D-Missile, but it's not nothing, you know. It's better than not having D-Missile. What am I doing here? I'm training translocations. I'm probably getting that up to, what, 21? Yep. Malign Gateway just needs a little more juice, so it's out of the yellow. And then I'm training Charms to get D-Missile up, and then we'll probably take Fighting to like 15 on account of the fact that we have a manual. How was I killing things? Mostly just with blade hands, I guess. Let's see, we've got pretty good resistances. I guess I kind of want our poison here, but on the other hand, I don't know how much I care. I think I'm inclined to wear this stupid hat. At least in Snake. Let's drop Wizardry. Let's wear this hat. Let's drop our Poise Ring. So yeah, we're wearing the Poise hat instead. We don't really need that much MR in Snake, or really any. I mean, getting teleported sucks, but if I look at Naga Mages, 1% chance to teleport other. Yeah, absolutely, it's a Spriggan of Gozag, why not? Gozag's awesome on almost anything, and, well, Spriggan doesn't suffer the penalties, really, so... Want to see you play Dota Underlords? I don't know what that is. Is that like Dota? Well, I see there's a ton of shit. Let's just back off and let the Tentacle handle this problem. That's right, we can just casually cast Tentacle now. Flavor of the month style of game, like the auto chess? People keep talking about auto chess, but I don't know what it is. Dude, look at all that experience we're getting. I mean, if I'm willing to get half experience, I can kind of let the Tentacle just kill everything, which I don't really want to do. Just kind of pointing out that it's an option. And I probably will do it when packs are huge. Just because, well, I guess we can do things like Irradiate to finish things off, but in general, it's just going to speed things up and make it more simple to Malign Gateway them. It's a game of managing resources like Kroll. Yeah, I imagine I would do pretty okay in such a game. Trying to Irradiate first. Let this Tentacle kill greater Nagas. It's just not really worth the risk, to be honest. To fight some of these guys. Yeah, Staff of Energy plus Malign Gateway is it's pretty damn strong. Too bad we can't even use regular-sized shields on account of being so tiny. But yeah, believe me, even a minor mistake could lead this character to die, even with things like Malign Gateway online. Paralyze the Serpent. You know, because I have that Spriggan hit points, you know. Let's see if we can melee this dude. See how fast he can just do tons of damage to me? Look at this crap. And I have Spirit Shield. If I didn't have Spirit Shield, this would be a much more fragile character. Just use stones as a buckler? Are you asking me to go stat form? It's not quite the same thing, but I could. I probably will end up in stat form at some point. I waited a few turns just so I could do this, basically. I'm gonna lamp these dudes. Have fun, brother. I mean, the fire itself will just finish this for me, really. Okay, here's a tentacle. There could just be too many things coming, so we'll let it mop up. Le Petit Mort. The problem with that title is, like, it's cool, but -1 Necromancy apt kind of makes it unlikely that you're going to play a Necromancer, a Necromancer Spriggan, that is. I mean, you could do it, certainly it's possible. Let's put D-Missile back up. Matite Portalist. I mean, that's the thing, is like, if you find Malign Gateway on a Spriggan, it's like almost silly not to go for it. Gosh, I hope I do get stat form online. Let's go up. Let's go down a different staircase. Tentacles killing things for me. You'll notice that the fail rate on D-Missile is like flying down on account of the fact that I have +4 aptitude. Can you chug a potion of haste and roleplay as an executioner with blade hands? Well, sadly, Spriggans don't attack any faster, but that is kind of cool. But yeah, I mean, I'm sure at some point you'll see that. Unless you have Finesse. Well, Haste actually doesn't stack with Finesse, and actually makes you attack faster than Finesse does. Which is something I didn't know for a really long time, believe it or not. But yeah, Haste actually makes you attack a little bit faster than Finesse. I thought it was the same. I think that Finesse drops it by like half, and Haste drops it by like drops it to 1/3 or something like that. I'm not sure exactly. All right, this should be pretty well empty. I can't imagine there's that many Naga left. Hey, just like that, D-Missile is 22%. It's not even warning me anymore for some reason, even though it's still red. fail rate. Probably because the miscast effects really aren't that bad. But yeah, once you get Malign Gateway online, like I said, surely you're losing some experience, but you're taking absolutely no risks. So a lot of the times you can just cast this thing and walk away and just hit 5 and enjoy all the experience gain, you know. Got the rune. Alright, that is Snake 4. Now Shoals we left in slightly a slightly worse condition. I think we didn't even do Shoals 2. No, it was Shoals 3 that was blocked off. Oh, holy shit. Okay, let's go up. That is the Kraken spot, and they were all just ready for me. You know, I haven't been in Shoals in a really long time, but they all just had their tentacles out. Oh, I have an old gateway here. All right. I mean, it would have been rough on this character, but we've got D-Missile now is the thing. It was rough a minute ago. I tell you what's going to be annoying is these freaking these water nymphs. Let's flame this one. Get onto the ground here. Goodbye, Water Hitler. Not happy about having to use 2 clouds there, but at the same time, I mean, this character needed a little help to clear out one of these staircases. This is the reason, maybe you're seeing why I chose to leave Shoals and sort of go into Elf and then Slime like a madman. Yeah, Dort, they are water Hitlers. What would you call them? They do 50 damage. Try to stay on dry land when they're around. You know, I guess I could just be irradiating them to death. Alright, Adort. Hey, Asimov, how you doing, man? Kinda mopping up this game. So we really don't want to ever be hit by a tentacle, because we could get paralyzed and that would certainly be the end of this character. Our spell power with the tentacle is not exactly great right now, which means he's more likely to go hostile. Hey, look at all this Ice Blast, that's cool. I should probably buy all that. I'm gonna buy all that. Also, I'm gonna wear this hat of magic resistance again. Spectromancer, huh? Haven't heard of that. Okay, our robe is where our RF plus comes from. Let's, gosh, we do have statue form online. This character really should be using statue form, if I'm being honest. Third rune might be wild on this guy. Well, no, dude, we did slime first. We actually, this is our third rune, weirdly enough. I cheesed the hell out of TRJ. I cheesed him with snake bombs. Surrounded him with, you know, sticks to snakes, and then used a bunch of Immolate. It was wild. We also did Elf before doing any runes whatsoever. Whoa, hold on, that guy's hostile. That's where we want the portal to show up, off to the east, not the west. I think the Krakens rather, are just sort of killing it, though. I don't know, I feel a bit more experienced. It's killing something. I'm not really willing to play around with these Krakens. They're just too dangerous. Yeah, they're killing it. They just do so much. You know, the thing about the tentacle is the one thing that really can take it out is a lot of melee damage. Just physical. So believe it or not, they can go toe-to-toe and win. Although, eventually they'll lose. I guess I could just flame this dude now. He doesn't want to pull his tentacles out. Okay, I'm going to wait for there to be dry land. This vault is like super dangerous is the problem. Because if it's watery, I can't really get around safely. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to clouds this guy. He'll die insanely fast to this. Thankfully, we got the negative energy. Okay, this last one. Can clouds reach? No, I screwed up. I'll scatter shot to clear that, and then I'll take a step. And then I'll clouds him. Oh right, I wasn't even reading it right. That doesn't reach. However, he can't stick his tentacles out on me, really. So I could just throw these flames at him. What I should be doing, by the way, is I should have the spire out. Can I just do this, perhaps? There we go. Sort of a weird use of resources, but this is a strange vault as well. Hey, SGG Motu. The lair entrance spawns on D11, and Null Sergeant with Banish also spawns on D11. Sounds like some bullshit, man. Disto weapons are kind of dumb, honestly. I don't know. They just seem kind of like these weird gotchas that turn popcorn monsters into things that can insta-kill you, you know? To some degree I like it, but on the other hand I want the game to have, I want the game to be better at warning you that something comes into view that has one of those. Wow, we found another ring of +6 evasion. That's outrageous. if I had RLEC from another source that wasn't a weapon, wow, I could have plus 12 EV. That's kind of insane. Of course, I could go stat form. Really inclined to do that now. I mean, this will probably be a Diesel character if I do that. And that means we could start tabbing the game. Of course, we'd be running around without our LEC until we go stat form, which can kind of be annoying. Alright, let's just make a tentacle. This is one of my favorite things to do. We make a tentacle in one staircase, go up, go back down another staircase, and then just hit 5. And you get experience. It's great. Of course, these things are making it kind of annoying. We should go down the 3rd staircase. So the gateway is still up, unfortunately, and I want it gone. Before I do anything else. Before I go down that other staircase, since it could be hostile when I come down, which obviously we would prefer not to deal with. Yeah, whatever, I'll just statue form for defense. Let's go up. Could have gotten shoved off the staircase, which would have been terrible. Okay. We'll go back here. Everything should be dead around this, basically. Are there any gods that are really awful with trolls? Well, I wouldn't go Gozag because you're carnivorous, so you would probably starve to death or have a really hard time of it. What else? I mean, caster gods, of course, since you're... well, you're a troll, so you're really big and really dumb. So you're not going to be exactly wrecking face with magic. But otherwise, almost everything works. Yeah, Sif Muna, Sif, Vehumet, Gozag, everything else could technically work. I mean, it would be like kind of weird to use a troll of what's the one I'm thinking of, like Dithmenos or something, but you could make it work. Yeah, Dith is okay because you do get the shadow attacks or whatever. And I mean, you can't stab with claws, but you can do a hell of a lot of damage. So it's kind of like, you know, if you're hitting somebody who's sleeping with a troll, he's probably gonna die. I liked Dith back in the day when, I mean, apparently it was a bug. I don't know why they changed it, but I guess that before your shadow bolt or whatever could shoot enemies, and maintain whatever brand your weapon had. Oh, this is just lame. Close this stuff. I have like a billion Ice Blasts, so why don't we just use those? Okay, is this where the tentacle is? Yeah, it is. Let's go down a different staircase. Well, I mean, I don't know, SGG, maybe. I guess I just don't see why not. Okay, let's go stat form so we're essentially immune to getting damaged by this thing. Put up a Spire, and I should be able to fist fight this. I mean, whatever, I'm just going to go up. Tentacles online, it'll kill the Kraken. Really got to be careful around these tentacles. Don't want to get abyssed, don't want to get paralyzed and murdered. They do an outrageous amount of damage is the thing, so it's really a double-edged sword. Wow, there's a lot of guys there. Let's not take that one. Kind of burning through my spell hunger a bit. Like, I probably shouldn't be casting things like Irradiate without the staff on. Doesn't really matter, though. We have 31 rations and enough gold to buy shops. Yeah, Pain-Branded Quickblade plus Mimic would be kind of obscene, but... I mean, haven't you earned it at that point if you trained up Necromancy for that? But it was, I think it only applied to launched stuff, actually, not melee. I could be wrong about that. Oh shit. I don't want to get put to sleep. Let's just make a tentacle to clear that stuff out. Okay, charm is 15. There we go. Take fighting to 15. I'm going to take... I guess I'll take earth to 10. I mean, it's starting to look like we're going to be a stat form guy. As much as I kind of wanted to avoid that, it's starting to make a lot of sense. Just for tabability and everything. We can essentially tab through the rest of this game if I get stat form in a good place. Although, ideally I'd want to get stat form to Hungerless. I'd also want to start wearing this buckler probably. So there's like a lot of things that I want. So, why don't we get fighting first, because that helps us the most. And then spell casting as well, up to 20, and see if that makes statue form anywhere close to castable without hunger. Because I don't want to have to be swapping my energy staff on and off. That's kind of lazy, but Can drop this ring of protection from magic. We can already tab a good bit. Just need some more unarmed combat. Wow, we just found Crystal Spear. Oh my god. Alright, that's it. I'm just doing this. Wow, this is an epic tentacle battle happening here. See, there's an actual example of the Kraken tentacle wrecking the Eldritch tentacle. That's okay, we'll come in and finish him off with some flame. I think that's going to be our last flame. Let's drop that. Cool. I can also go ahead and turn off Wand of Disintegration for pickup. Yeah, Krakens are just big melee. Not to be underestimated. Like if I were to look at Krakens, they bite for 50 damage. I'm not sure exactly how much their tentacles do. I guess it's, let's see, 29? Interesting. Do we have the rune yet? We actually don't. Never died to one because I do not mess with them. Well, that's a smart move, I guess. Okay, tentacle should kill everything. Oh, speak of the devil. Keeps wanting to spawn the tentacle outside. Oh, he's almost dead. I'm just going to Ice Blast him. Easy enough. Got the rune. Cool, 3 runes, there you go. No interesting loot, but we're progressing in runes. I'm pretty pleased with that, you know. We can go to vaults now, I suppose. Gosh, I don't think we've even finished out dungeon. Nope. Should be able to just scythe through these dudes with these blade hands. It's just dungeon enemies, I mean. Seriously doubt we're gonna run into any problems. In before LCS'd to death. It's not bad. Fall through a shaft, D15. This is actually the second time we've been shafted to D15. Perhaps it is becoming obvious why I don't generally screw around with D14 and D15 and thereabouts. Tentacle's gone. Let's go back up. Well, actually, why don't we identify this? Could be a good stat stick. See, what we really would like is a one-handed weapon that, well, it's one-handed for a Spriggan that has like +int or something on it. since we can't wear the Staff of Energy. Uh-oh. Okay, no, that's fine. I was afraid he might have LCS. Alright, have fun with the tentacle. This is, of course, the entrance to vaults. It's just the one that's kind of like a fortress and annoying to get into. Just kind of had to crash in. See how we can't really tank these guys? Kinda. D-Missile is making my life a hell of a lot easier, though, I have to say. By the way, we can turn off scrolls of amnesia for pickup, and we can drop those. Because, and we can always come back to them if we need them. I might amnesia off Petrify or Inner Flame or something, if there's anything else that I want, but we're almost set, you know, pretty much set for the rest of the game. If we were to find, like, Controlled Blink, maybe, I guess I'd take it, but outside of something like that, I don't really see anything else I would really need to memorize, you know? Just trying to finish up this, oh wow, that's a flayed ghost. Let's take a step back. Let's end the transformation. I'm going to make a tentacle and let him deal with this. I'm not wanting to get flayed and then suck down a hot corrosive bolt right afterwards, you know, with my 100 hit points. Alright, cool. Vaults is open. We might as well do D15. How are we coming along with that spell hunger? Still quite a lot of it on statue form. Probably should be trying to refrain from using Malign Gateway so much because I really am just kind of screwing myself out of experience for no particularly good reason. Bitcoin? What would you like to know about Bitcoin, mysteriously? Oh, I want to lamp this stuff, but I can't. Tell me all the things he says. Well, that's pretty pretty open. I think I'm going to need some more direction than that, to be honest with you. Let's get out of the water so I can actually hit these things. Uh-oh, stat form ending. Radiate. There we go. It's barely enough mana. The China ban made me feel uneasy about Bitcoin. I mean, it's basically FUD. I mean, China has banned Bitcoin, quote unquote, according to the news, about 4 billion times. so I don't really pay a lot of attention to that. And honestly, a government trying to ban Bitcoin is kind of like throwing ice cubes at the sun to extinguish it. I mean, technically, it's possible, but it's not particularly likely, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. And for every country that bans Bitcoin, you're going to have other countries that embrace it. I mean, Japan has essentially become a cryptocurrency hub, you know, and that's probably the country with some of the most advanced hardware, most advanced hardware on the planet. So, I mean, they're forward thinking over there, and if America wants to sort of stay in the race, so to speak, we should do the same thing. And there are people in our government who feel the same way as me. I mean, there was a congressman who just the other day said that you can't kill Bitcoin, you know, impossible. And I guess technically it is possible, but you would need to spend an awful lot of money for not much payoff. And even after you did that, they would just fork the chain, really. So it's pretty resilient. People have been trying to kill Bitcoin for something like 12 years now, so the fact that it's worth $10,000 right now in spite of that should probably tell you a little something about its resiliency. Probably shouldn't be tabbing into these freaking guys. Let's go up. All right. Well, I mean, China is all about control. Their government, I mean, is all about control. There are certain topics that if you, you know, you'll have your social media banned immediately if you talk about certain things the party doesn't want you to know about. What advantage does Bitcoin have? Hey man, what's up? What advantage does Bitcoin have over cryptocurrencies? Is there more than just first mover advantage? Well, first mover advantage is pretty big, but I would say that hash power is what it has over other cryptocurrencies, and I guess that is pretty related to first mover advantage, but the fact that it's got so much hash power devoted towards securing the network, you know, a lot of these little tiny altcoins, even the ones that are basically trying to be Bitcoin killers, they don't have a lot of hash power backing them up. And so, you know, you would be able to, if you had enough money, and you really wouldn't need that much, force a chain split or whatever. You would force them to fork their own coin if they wanted to fix whatever horrible thing you did to their blockchain. If you had enough money to throw enough hash power at their little shit coin. Whereas with Bitcoin, you would need an enormous amount of money to do the same kind of thing, like an outlandish amount of money. So that's one advantage. But yeah, I mean, I'm not going to sit here and lie and say that Bitcoin has all of the sort of state-of-the-art experimental stuff that every single other coin is trying to do. I mean, and of course there's always the what do you call it, like the scaling debate stuff that the Bitcoin Cash guys will talk about, and that's a whole different can of worms. But I mean, yeah, don't underestimate the first mover advantage. What am I doing here? I'm trying to go into vaults, right? But I got distracted, and I swear there was something I was going to do. Oh, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to bite the bullet, and I'm going to get that ring of +6 evasion. Yeah, Lex Luthor money is a good way to put it. I mean, I could start throwing out figures if I had my stuff in front of me right now. I don't. You would essentially need to be a government, and the problem with that is that, you know, even if you, like I said, if you put enough money to, you know, start doing a 51% attack on Bitcoin, the end result really, realistically, would be all the nodes would say, we don't like these transactions because they're obviously bullshit, and there would just be a fork at that point. There would be a consensus that the transactions that you tried to cheat onto the network were invalid, and at that point you will have wasted like hundreds of millions of dollars for basically nothing. I mean, I guess you could potentially remove faith in the in the network that way, but I don't know. I don't think it's big enough, to be honest. Like, the market cap is just, it's not really on anybody's radar. Although I will say it is interesting that we had a president tweet about it for the first time very recently. So maybe it is getting on people's radars, but honestly, it's a very resilient technology. I wouldn't be worried about governments banning it. I see a lot of regressive governments, like India's government, not being big fans of cryptocurrency, but I see all of the non-regressive governments, or at least a lot of them, instead embracing it. So, it's a global phenomenon for sure. But the thing I like about it is that it just completely bypasses middlemen. I can send you money, and nobody can stop me from sending you money. Nobody. I could. There's people like PayPal and MasterCard and all these other the bank card associations and whatnot. They have this really horrible track record with just like shutting your ass down, either for political reasons or because they don't like your business, or just random chance. It's like these really draconian sort of companies, and like I don't trust them to be able to choose who gets to have a livelihood and who doesn't. Which is why I love Bitcoin, because nobody can financially deplatform you at that point. They could stop you from turning your Bitcoin back into fiat, I guess, but you could sell Bitcoin outright these days. Let's refresh stat form. I mean, this is going okay. I'm burning through spell hunger doing this, unfortunately, because I'm kind of casting a lot of stat form without the staff on. And yeah, Trump does tweet an awful lot. But to be honest, if you were to look at those tweets where he was kind of pooping on Bitcoin a little bit, to me, it looked like the boomers in his administration basically told him to say that. I mean, I seriously doubt. I'm not one of those people who thinks that Trump is a dumb guy, because I don't think that you become president and are also a dummy. I don't think that's possible. With that said, I seriously would doubt that Trump or anyone in his administration has a particularly strong understanding of how Bitcoin works, especially from a technical side. George Bush, yeah, maybe. But like the thing is, like, I have a suspicion that like Mnuchin or one of the bankers that owns them owns Mnuchin probably said something along the lines of, yeah, you need to say something bad about Bitcoin. But then if you look at the tweet right after it, it really seemed more like a sort of an excuse or a segue to talk shit about Libra, which, I mean, I could go on for a while about how stupid Libra is. That's Facebook's new cryptocurrency. So, I mean, if they want to attack Libra, I'm down for that, because Libra's dumb. I mean, it's a meme, really. There's no reason for it to be on a blockchain, because what it is, it's the same old system, of basically the same pack of predatory, financial parasites controlling everything. It's like, instead of hash power and, people competing to mine blocks and whatnot, instead what you've got is a totally centralized system where it's called the Libra Association. And they're the ones who validate the transactions. And these are people that are like handpicked by Facebook. And like you go and you look at the list of the first members of the association, and it's people like fucking PayPal and MasterCard, and you're sitting there thinking like, well, you guys are the ones that are screwing everything up. Like I don't trust you to manage my transactions. That's why I got into Bitcoin in the first place. And so, I mean, I don't know. It just seems like more of the same, and it forces you to wonder, like, what is the point of putting it on a blockchain? Essentially, what you've got at that point is it's just another database. You don't need a blockchain for that. So they're essentially just memeing, if you ask me. And what it really is it's an excuse for them to sort of play at being a bank while not having to be regulated as a bank. I mean, I will say this, that you should read that tweet that Trump tweeted, because in this particular case, he was 100% right. Like, they are playing at being a bank and just trying to avoid regulations. Essentially trying to, well, be even more of they want to join the parasitic middleman game, essentially. And, they'll invent a bunch of reasons you'll have to use Libra if you want to buy things, on any Facebook or Instagram or anything like that, any platform they control. And, I don't know, man. I don't trust it. NG Matt, that's hilarious. See, that's the kind of story I want to hear. I like that. Any story where a bank gets screwed over is, it's like heartwarming. I mean, seriously, banks, at least in my country, are just predatory, just incredibly predatory, especially towards poor people. Fee structuring and all that stuff. I mean, it's the stuff that banks get away with in this country is just outrageous. I mean, if you know anything about the 2008 housing crisis and how much these people just sort of fed upon the country like a hungry vampire, I mean, it was a good bit of text, NG Matt. I don't blame you for taking a minute with that. Okay, I'm gonna cast Regen so I can get back to tabbing. Doesn't want to let me do it because I'm below 90%. If I just get like a little more spell power, I'll have more AC, and then I'll be able to tab harder. Part of the problem is, of course, the stupid mutation is wrecking my spell power. I probably have a couple more points of AC from stat form. You got a problem with my 90% auto fight stuff, man? I wouldn't be able to streak without that. Like, no joke. I think that I would have lost the streak by now without that one weird trick. Oh, this is looking stupid. I don't want to fight a Titan on my own. Let's pull back. How did I take so much damage? Oh, the Titan slapped me. Then the tentacle finished his ass off. But yeah, I mean, the thing about the 90% auto fight stuff is, like, I agree it's kind of silly, but at the same time, it's so nice. Ah, shit. I wanted to leave the... Oh wait, never mind. The plan can still work. Any regular watcher of my stream knows what I'm up to here. Let's just say that Convoker is going to be a pal. I'm going to turn him into my best friend. Okay, this is actually pretty scary. I don't want this dude next to me. Let's fear... Wait, what am I doing? I'll just stat form. That makes me immune to the paralysis because it's poison-based paralysis. Really need that buckler. But not just yet. Ouch. Alright, this is obnoxious. Let's walk away. Real men put auto fight to 0%. I mean, you put it down to, like, what's the one in your speed run, your real-time speed run, RC man? The one that I used that, by the way, I think doubled my, or halved my speed run time. I think it's like 15% in there, something like that. Yeah, the staff is two-handed. That's why I haven't started training. That's the one reason I haven't started training shields yet, because I want to get spell hunger a little bit more manageable, ideally eliminated before I'm doing that. So we're training spell casting, which, you know, this isn't really terrible anyway, because the thing is, this is this is giving me mana points, and I'm still, despite my sort of better judgment, I'm using the Scarf of Spirit Shield because, well, I just really need hit points. So effectively, this is giving me like tons of hit points as I train it. So this isn't even dumb, even if you think that trying to reduce spell hunger is dumb. Like, it's still really good. So once we get that down to, I mean, I don't know, it's 4 pips now. I feel like we can get it to free by maybe 22. Haven't done the math or anything. Still in the line gateway here. Let's just stare dance this stuff. It's fine. I mean, the other thing is we're wearing a +6 ring of evasion and then another +6 ring of evasion, which should strike you as kind of outrageous, really. I mean, that's a boon you don't usually see. And then we have D-Missile as well. So, I mean, if we could just get our AC a little bit higher. One way to do that would be to wear a cloak instead of a, I mean, we could get like 2 more points of AC, or maybe 3? Base cloak is 1, right? Yeah, we could get like 3 points of AC from that. But I mean, obviously having 43 extra hit points is better. I mean, really we just need more spell power. With enough spell power, we could probably pump our AC all the way to like 40, just with stat form alone, or something like that. Apportation. Grab this digging. Be greedy and grab the gold too. Some kind of like, you know, robes with a ton of, well, robes with Arc Magi on it would be pretty sweet. One of the problems with being in stat form on this character, by the way, is that, well, look at me. It takes off the robes, so now I don't have RF plus or RC plus, you know, because we're getting RF plus from the robes. So it's, you know, things like Hell Knight packs. I mean, yeah, I know I have D-Missile fine, but it could still go badly, is all I'm saying. Okay, that was cool. Marjorie goes down. Are there any unidentified robes? No, sadly not. But yeah, Arc Magi would give us some extra AC at least. But I don't think I'm inclined to do Vaults 5. At least not the sort of stare dancing way I usually do it, unless I can get RF plus, RF minus. Scarf of Resistance would be pretty sweet. Everything can go badly if you're not careful in this game. Well, yeah, especially on a Spriggan, you know. But it's like I don't have a lot of wiggle room to screw around here is the big takeaway. I'm gonna acid these dudes. I'm going to para this thing. I see that there are... Oh, there's a lightning rod. I should go grab that. Lightning rod would be really nice in this situation, wouldn't it? We could be killed here because statue form. That's not good. It's not really likely, but yeah, it could happen. I'm going to fear that's reasonably safe. And then we're going to paralyze this dude. And let's back off. Put the blade hands on. This way we have a little more fine control over our actions. We'll also lamp this stuff so it all just dies. Nice. Get some intelligence. That helps more than anything for spell hunger. Still 4 pips for level 6 spells. Hey, Vampire Knight. Come on, dude. Fine, we'll do this. It's not like I can't irradiate you. Speaking of irradiate, that's almost hungerless, so that alone's pretty cool. That would mean we could just spam that even without the staff, which is nice. It also means I would be able to blade hands with no spell hunger without the staff, so we could just like drop the staff and start potentially start using the shield at that point, even if it doesn't help us with the hands up. Yeah, messing with Titanic Slimes is usually pretty dumb, but it's especially dumb in stat form because for every action I take, they might take 2. Unless my unarmed combat is high enough, which probably not. My unarmed combat is actually really crappy. Alright, Wand of Acid. I'll just go ahead and buy that. One of the luxuries of worshipping Gozag is, well, I just buy whatever I want, really. Have tons of money to spare. Hey, rations. I don't need to buy those yet, but maybe later. Hey, an unannounced bazaar. This is awesome. So I don't have to go in here right now. This will just sit here forever because it's quote-unquote unannounced. It didn't ping me with the yellow text when I came into the floor and say, whoa, there's a timer. So this bazaar, I can leave forever if I felt like it, come back, a year later, and it's still there. I have 7,500 gold though, so there's really no reason for me not to walk in. Short bow. Don't care about the short bow. Some books that I really don't care about, I guess. I mean, I could get Pog, I suppose, but I don't see controlled blinks, so whatever. Probably not going to spend money on Phantomir. I will spend money on Acid. Spend money on Clouds. Nice blast. Phantomirs are nice, but eh. A fine flail. Shit. I guess I should probably buy it just to be sure. And +3. I mean, that's a stat stick, I guess, but all right, nothing too interesting here. I mean, we have a weapon stat stick now if I was so inclined, I suppose. I was looking more for something like minus telly so I could make my Zot 5 a little safer. Suppose I probably should have checked the short bow too, now that I think about it. Alright, let's go grab that rod before I forget. That's such a good, useful tool for taking out Boggarts in particular. Is this a... Shit, this is a Crystal Spear guy. He could double Crystal Spear me for the win. Let's do this, that'll kill him. Just marking the floor that there is a friend here. Alright, we can probably drop our Potion of Liggy. Magnification, off you go. Just trying to save inventory space here. Grab the rod. There's a few things to buy, but meh. Just out of curiosity. Okay, octane is 23 AC, 51 EV, which we could probably get there. Diesel. Yeah, Blue. You did catch the huts today, didn't you? 46 AC, 31 EV. So we're more likely to become octane than diesel. If I go stat form, we end up with 27 AC, 42 EV. So, I mean, we've already got the AC requirement. We just got to get the EV up. I mean, geez, that almost makes me want to go for pure dodging to 27 like a madman. You know? Because these exist for a reason. It's a sign that your character is just very, very, very hard to kill if you have either of those conditions met. Alright, we don't want to hurt our friend. Leave him behind. Feels bust, man. But yeah, I think I feel okay about my general plan, which is to first priority is to get stat form hungerless, and then I can have a shield on all the time. As I always say, you know, the plan that requires you to swap less is usually swap the least rather, is probably the best plan you can do. Because the alternative is giving yourself more failure points. Basically, you know, you're eventually going to screw up. You're gonna forget to wear that RF plus ring when there's a fire dragon around, and then you're going to take like 72, which is the max damage they can do, in a breath, and it's not going to be a fun time for you. So the least amount of crap like that you're doing is generally the best scenario. Now sometimes, perhaps most of the time, you're not going to have such a convenience, but a lot of the time you will. Let's get regen up. Keep doing this. Let's put statue form up again. Have you seen a statue swerve that fast? Should have put this spire up a while ago. I'm slowed, which is not great. Just because I'm paranoid. Let's do this. Swing on this asshole who slowed me. There we go. We're almost there, man. I think. No, it's still 4 pips. Getting memed on over here. Perhaps it is time to buy some shops. I mean, if I could get maybe like an artifact robe with int on it, I mean, some kind of extra intelligence would certainly help. An amulet with intelligence on it would be cool. I'm sort of particularly loath to not wear these evasion rings because they're so good. I mean, plus 12 EV, that's just monstrously powerful. Let's lamp. This is kind of an ideal spot for it. Really happy that we're, for the most part, doing our own fighting. Shit. Come on, Donald, don't do this to me. Can I scatter shot? Is that going to get past his shield? Is that a shield of... It's just a regular shield. It's not going to bounce my stuff. I'm going to try to scatter shot him. Come on, dude. Your AC is nerfed. This should be killing you. There we go. Although I'm going to get LRD'd here. So we'll acid to finish this thing off. Keep regen up. Oh god. Oh god, okay, 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 that's bad. That's a hasted simulacrum and I don't have RC+. Very, very bad. Here's a place where we kind of have to burn a blink. Then we'll burn a paralysis, which is going to have like a 79% success rate. Very good. Just going to walk away. Kill it while it's paralyzed. And that's what I'm talking about, man. If I had RC Plus all the time, and I could, that would not have been terrifying, but it was. Funding enough shops to decimate the enemies economically. Well, certainly an option. Although, I mean, in all seriousness, I probably should just bribe vaults. Is Rapid Decon available? Yeah, it is. Is Vile Clutch available? No, it's not. Should have checked for that in that bizarre shop. It may have even had it. Get Rapid. Rapid will make Crypt doable. Oh, hey guys. 69%, here we go. Boom, boom, boom. Wow, I forgot I don't have RF. Making mistakes left and right here. Let's just end transformation and walk away from this stuff so I can get my Spriggan speed back. Alright, so I'm making enough dumb mistakes that I really need to be walking around with RF+, so, you know, as silly as it is, I'm going to forego my 12 evasion. I'm going to wear RC Plus and RF Plus at the same time. And that's okay for now. We'll figure something else out here in a bit. Eventually we'll find an item that, well, we'll probably find an item that makes all this stuff trivial, but I'm just getting way too, I'm just memeing too hard basically. And I'm going to get myself killed if I don't have resistance. And of course I could be foregoing all this already just by, well, I could be using Malign Gateway and walking away. How far along in the streak am I? This is game number 18. There are 33 games in the streak if you don't count the melee bug games where Elliptic was playing, and through no fault of his own, there was a bug that doubled the damage on the melee on every single one of his characters. If you do count the melee bug games, that's 43 games. Now we are including the melee bug games in the streak itself, but I mean, depending on which way you want to calculate it, we are, you know, you could say that we're over halfway done. I'm trying to beat everything though. You know, it's I didn't come in to do the easy version, you know. So unfortunately that does saddle me with a few really bad starts, like soon I'm going to have to play a Formicid Scald, which I'm none too happy about. Hey, let's put D-Missile back up. How about that? Trying to keep blade hands up when I fight wizards. Put on regen. See, like now it's okay to fight these guys because I have RF++ if I'm not in stat form, and I have RF+ if I am. You know, so if I interfire this thing and it explodes, it's no big deal. But like 3d20 damage is no joke if you don't have RF to at least have it. Ouch. There we go. Nice. Okay, how is Spell Hunger coming along? I feel like I'm pursuing this a little too doggedly. I mean, goddamn, we have 38 rations. Is this really necessary for me to take this to full hungerless? I think I'm being a little bit too dogmatic here. Let me put on this shield and let me just see. Yeah, remove Spell Hunger. How about that, Totery? Welcome to the stream, by the way. I mean, although removing Spell Hunger would be a tremendous buff to Gozag, and Gozag really doesn't need a tremendous buff. You know, it'd be pretty sweet as if we found a buckler with RF on it. Okay, let's leave my friend alone. Let's head on down to the old snake pit, grab enchant armor, back to lair. Let's go to the entrance of lair. Now, just for my own OCD, I'm going to drop this trident over here and we're going to make a nice little shopping mall. And an aesthetic shopping mall. Well, Totery, I mean, yeah, I have a lot of rations, but you'd be surprised how fast I could burn through them. Even, you know, if I'm using something like stat form, it's a little better because I only have to cast it once per fight. But if I was like casting Fireball and it wasn't hungerless, you know, I'd have a ton more options open to me as a Gozag guy. Let me put it that way. Okay, let's call a merchant. I think I want to. What exactly does this character want? He could go for armor, for like an artifact hat, or jewelry even for an amulet. I mean, let's just see. All right, antique armor. Antique weapon, general store, go for antique armor. Got an artifact robe, we'll check that out. I feel like I'm getting memed harder than any man has ever been memed before because we just found OCPA. That's cute, I suppose. Obviously I'm a tiny little Spriggan man, so actually using that is not really an option. All right, this robe is dog shit, or at least it's not good for me. Dex +5, Strength -5, Sinv, which I already have, and Stealth+, which I don't care about. Call at least one more merchant. Go for jewelry. Interesting choices. Okay, I see some cool stuff. Let me think about this. Okay, the rings are not worth it. The amulet of the RF+ probably is worth it. Kind of kills my SH, but whatever. We have the buckler now. We can have RF all the time without relying on that one ring of RF+, which is really important because I can gain 6 EV. Acrobat would just be like overkill on this character. Could have our core as a swap now, but I don't think it's really important. Alright, let's drop the ring of wizardry and RF+. I see that our cast ability is a little bit crappy without the wizardry, but whatever. Alright, we have 4288 in terms of gold. I don't really want to buy another shop. I mean, I would still have enough for a bribe, but I like to have a little wiggle room, like a few potion petitions worth of things to do. Also, I see we have a spectator, so I should probably let him know. Streaming at Twitch. Malcolm Rose Gaming, if you'd care to join. Alright, so... Alright, let's just head right back into the vaults. If we could get RC+ now, that'd be pretty sick. You know, I suppose, come to think of it, this hat has RC+. The most coveted heavy armor for a caster finds it with Spriggan. I know, right? I feel like my MR+ is at like an outrageous spot right now, just because of my racial. Let's see, liches, if I take the hat off, liches can technically confuse me and stuff, that sucks. Ancient liches are 4%. So we're going to need to level a good bit, but once we're 27, we can totally swap hats, and that's our RC+. So that's cool. That's a cool thing. But it's not quite there yet. But that'll gain us 6 EV. It'll lose us 2 AC, but that's fine. Telling you, man, we're going to get that octane. So I'm going to go ahead and use this enchant armor on the buckler. I had hoped to find a shop, perhaps, with like a artifact buckler in it, but no dice. I'd be more concerned by a 60 damage bolt of cold than a 4% para. I agree entirely, but I mean, honestly, why don't I just avoid both, you know, if I can? I mean, actually, no, I would be more concerned by the para because I have demissile, and I can control the situation better to avoid bolts of cold. I can't really control the situation to avoid para in terms of, well, actually, let me check this ancient, which I am curious. Is it just 3d20? I thought it was more than that. I brought it up here. There's so many spells, it's like buried. Be cold 3d37. Yeah, I thought it was way more. So 97, 104, 111 damage. That's a lot. 60's average. I always assume I'm going to take the most, man. That's my secret #1 trick to, you know, avoid getting pizzoned. Although I will say, you know, this is something I've only realized very recently, which is weird. I'm still learning things about this game and the way I go about playing it. Like, on this character specifically, I realized some really horrible mistake I've been making, which is, like, I have this really bad habit of sort of neglecting the fact that not everything is speed 10. You know, so I was running through slime on this character, like, oh yeah, these acid blobs can only do 41 damage to me at range. But the real meme is they're actually speed 12. And so if I'm doing anything that's not like walking, on account of the fact that I'm a fast Spriggan, they have a chance to get 2 actions on me. So they could actually do 82 damage to me at any given time if my luck is bad enough, assuming no R core and full damage hits. So I really need to start really thinking on that, you know. But yeah, 60 it would be about average there. But I mean, as long as I have enough, as long as I have enough hit points to survive the initial hit, let's say I auto-explore into it, I'm fine, you know. Whereas like a para, doesn't really matter how much hit points I have. If I auto-explore into that, you know, even at 4%, it can happen. If I auto-explore into that, then I'm just owned, you know. Like, how does this character survive getting parried? He doesn't, you know. His 35 AC, or his 35 EV becomes 0 EV. It's not a fun time. Plus 11 Arbalist. Wow, if I had found that early in the game, we would have totally been a crossbow guy. That's insane. Look at that thing. What a beast. Plus 11 flaming. Yeah, actually, man, that's a great example. You'd think I would have learned my lesson then, but I mean, I guess it took me a really long time to internalize how dangerous that crap can be, which is funny because I'm always preaching, like, just assume you're going to take the max damage, bro. But the max damage is, like, way higher on some monsters than I was giving it credit for. I love that I'm immune to Flayed Ghosts in stat form. So cool. Come on, dude. I have RF plus. You can't do this to me. I should probably fear. I should probably fear again. Triple for some rare enemies like Unseen Horrors and Executioners. Yep. Which is yet another reason why AC is so good in this game. Like, that's one of my big gripes about just combat in general in this game, is that AC is just king, you know? Because if a lot of things are attacking you, the more AC you have, the better, since it gets applied to each attack, you know, whereas like either you dodge each attack or you don't. I mean, sure, I guess that gets applied to each attack, but GDR is the big thing for melee attacks, you know. Where if you have enough AC, even a Hydra can barely damage you. And I mean literally it cannot damage you more than a couple points per head if you have enough AC and enough GDR. Yeah, unseen horrors are kind of weird because they don't really just stand and fight you. I guess there's probably a chance. I don't know. I'd have to look at the baddie code and then probably not understand it because crawl code is like a spaghetti mess. Wow, I just tabbed because I thought I had staff form up and I didn't. Oops. I don't think I could die there, but could have been ugly. Let's scattershot these gentlemen. Probably didn't need to use 2 scattershot there. Found it helpful to think of crawl RNG in terms of mean and variance. What do you mean exactly? GDR plus AC reduces variance relative to EV. Yeah, I mean, I've never really tried to conceptualize it like that. I mean, almost everything I do in this game is just pure intuition, and I can explain it after the fact. But when I'm doing it, typically it's just like I have a feeling for, you know, if I have a little more AC here. Like I have enough AC now. If I get a little bit of EV, this character is way more powerful, you know. Like and it's like the numbers I guess I could give off the top of my head if I wanted to. Like I was coaching someone a couple months back, and they had trained 0 dodging, which is a really common mistake, and they were like all the way in the crypt or something. They had like 40 AC on a gargoyle or some crazy number. And then like 7 EV, and I was like, dude, just train dodging up to like 10 or 15, and even though the aptitude was bad, of course, you know, your character becomes like a giga tank just by virtue of dodging a few extra attacks when you've already got such an enormous amount of AC. A really common mistake by Dynast. Well, Dynast has his own way of playing, and it's probably a lot more entertaining to watch when your character is so fragile. And it's like, you can make it work with Dynast defenses. It's just, it can be a bit painful. Speaking of painful, this is lame enough that we're going to let the tentacle handle this. Bunch of high-level elves. Didn't really want to try to melee those dudes in stat form. I mean, we could have used the old strategies that we used to fight them back in Elf, but I'd rather just use the Malign Gateway. Alright, we vaults 4 now. So, do we dip into crypts and do that just for loot and a little extra experience? That's what I'm inclined to do. Going into vaults 5 immediately on this character feels real stupid. I mean, I certainly want to, because I always just want to get it out of the way. But on this guy, 120 hit points, add 48 if you want to be generous, on account of Spirit Shield, add the stat form HP if you want to be generous, although I'm kind of paying for that with move speed and whatnot. The equation adds up to me not wanting to be in there yet. And there's no reason for me to be in there yet, so we're going to do, for once anyway, we're going to do the smart play. We're going to go to crypts, and then we're going to do depths. Then we'll come back and do vaults 5. Just do crypts. Yeah, pretty much. There's a reason why I memorized Rapid Decon, although I should probably train a little more Earth, which I want anyway. Better than getting killed. Basically, it's a good way to put it. Constricted, what the... Okay. Okay, stop constricting me. Now I'm contaminated. That's okay, we have mutation. I don't want to get MR minus. Let's just get to the staircase. Pull up. Actually, you know what? I should kill the Zhangxi. Wow, his MR is higher than I thought it was. Okay, there we go. Did I get a bad mutation? I didn't see. No, I didn't. I'm getting to the point where this mutation is actually annoying me. Just the fact that it's wrecking my spell power is sort of obnoxious. Without too many ads, we should be able to tab through almost anything in here. Just not really all at once, you know. Like that fight right there was, nothing particularly tough was in that group. Kind of the Zhangxis, I guess. Oh, hello. Whoa, okay. Irradiate actually kills these guys. I didn't even need to get LRD, I forgot about that. Although LRD lets me do it at range. Irradiate is so cool, you know, the guaranteed damage aspect of it is just so crucial against things like Cursed Skulls, which otherwise are kind of hard to damage. I mean, you'll notice I'm using it against stuff that, you know, I'm not getting the malmutate on it, it's undead, you know. And yet I'm using it. Because it's just that good. As we kill things, we're getting, you know, we're finally leveling on armed combat, so that's going to go at least to 12. So we're getting better at killing things fast, which is ultimately what this character needs. +1 cloak, don't care about that. I guess I don't really need Earth Magic in terms of like I don't need it for LRD, since I've determined that I can just use LCS. But on the other hand, it's nice for stuff like this. You know, this guy scares me. He can do 75 plus 70. Ooh, can he kill me? Shit, he might be able to kill me. Ancient Champion. Yeah, it's 3d26, so it's actually 70. Oh shit. 76, 77, 78 damage possible. So 152, I think, damage. So no, he cannot one-shot me. If I was at full mana, even right now he can't one-shot me. That's still pretty bad though. It's acid to finish him. Oh, I'm using up mana when I use my wands, I just realized. So I'm cutting into my effective hit points. That wasn't good. Need to be careful about that. Ancient Champions are bizarre. Like, you wouldn't think that they can do so much damage, but they really can if they're hasted. And what's more, you kind of have to assume they're going to do that much damage if you're trying to streak. Because the minute that you let your guard down, they're going to double iron shot you for like 150 damage, and you're going to be real sad. Alright, guys. Oh, that's a Juggy. Alright, Juggy's going to be my friend. Did it work? Juggy struggles to resist. No, Juggy. Well, this sucks. Do I blink? Yeah, I do. Wait, Juggy didn't struggle to resist. He's mine. Did I misread the table? Oh, there it is. Or misread the log, rather. I guess I just didn't see it. I was looking at the first attempt. Alright, Juggy can damage these guys for me while I make it to the staircase. I'm going to go up. Make sure stat form stays up. Do this. Really glad that was a Juggernaut zombie and not a Juggernaut skeleton, because Juggernaut skeletons don't have their own tile. So it's very easy to miss them. They just look like regular giants, giant skeletons. Got a big drain there, kind of sucks. We'll get it back though, it's fine. Oh, that's a Juggernaut skeleton. See, I told you. I told you it would happen. So we killed him by paralyzing him. Let's, I should be doing this more. I'm getting memed on by the Hungry Ghost. Kind of a shame. But hey, we're getting a lot of experience in here. Perhaps an entire level's worth. Ring of Evasion really can't be better than 2 plus 6s. I mean, it literally cannot be higher than that, unless it were an artifact, the Unrand artifact, actually, the Ring of Shaolin. I should probably magic map this, but I already know the layout. This is the, I think this is the skull. Looks like it's the skull. Should probably keep regen up. We'll lamp all this stuff and fight right here. It's kind of like a kill hole. Not exactly, but kind of. Although being attacked by a... What are these called? Flying skulls. That's really not a big deal at this point. Let's just make sure stat form stays up, you know. Maybe pull back to the actual hallway. There's no particular reason for me to be fighting two things at once if I don't have to, I guess. I could almost mistake this character for you know, a melee powerhouse in stat form. Like, it almost looks like I have the correct amount of hit points. Whoa, I should not have tabbed here. LRD this. Put up regen. This thing worries me. Do we know what book he has? Stone Era. Okay, that's less risky. Let's still try to focus on LRDing his ass down. It's just that my spell power is Garbo. Irradiate will do it though. There we go. I think he's dead. Was that him dying? Yeah, it was. Large A bomb. Just kind of spawned in here. That's interesting. Whoa, whoa, okay. Titan Simulacrum. Let's, I'll tell you what we're going to do is we're going to paralyze that, and we're going to end transformation. We're going to walk away. No reason to stick around in this fight if I can reset instead. ABR, always be resetting. Just clear these wings, I guess. I'm pretty much just going where Auto Explorer is sending me. Skull and Crossbones is coming into view. Okay, what is this thing? Spectral Titan. Oops. Got a little bit too contaminated there. What book does this guy have? Well, I'm just going to let the Spire wreck his face. Is that an Orb of Destruction? Oh, okay. We can just own him. Frederick's here. You know what? I am going to throw clouds out here. And if you guys want to approach into that, that is a-okay with me. Unless he were to make, shit, if he was going to bring his buddy, could potentially have a problem, especially with stat form speed. We could get like iron shot at a bunch. It's probably fine though. I just would rather not have to blink. Yeah, we're taking way too much damage. This is just too much shit. Kind of a shame. Getting out of this is going to be a pain without using blink. I'm going to go ahead and telly. Now Frederick can blast me. Let's heal wounds. We still have D-Missile up. I see Tella sent me here. Okay. I don't want to get double iron shotted, but again, D-Missile is up, so let's just teleport. Very unlikely to die. Let's put up a Spire here. Spire dies, fine, I'll take a step. And that teleports me. What bad teleports? But that's fine. We can end the transformation now. Just walk away from this stuff at Spriggan speed. That was a little inexpertly done. Frederick kind of threw me for a loop there. You might think that Frederick is just super easy, and he usually is, but don't underestimate him. He's got Iron Shot. Iron Shot's no joke. You can pretty safely assume that anything with Iron Shot can kill you. And will kill you. Wow, Jory as well. That's some LCS. I'm actually more inclined to fight both these dudes in blade hands. Actually, you know what I'm inclined to do? Goodbye. Yeah, you can LCS me, that's fine. I've got enough hit points to survive, but have fun with the tentacle, bro. No, don't do this. I will just silence you if I have to. Let me just make sure how much damage he can do. I think it's like 100. 3D 37, so 97, 104, 111. So we have enough hit points. Yeah, it was a pretty annoying blink. That's okay though. He's acided now. He just greatsworded me for. Well, shit. Does that put me at enough hit points that he could kill me? 98. Yeah, it does. You win this round, Jory. Enjoy your silence. Enjoy dying to the tentacle. So silence can be used as kind of an out. Yeah, no, he had no worries at all about that tentacle. I mean, big ups to him, I guess, for the courage, you know. Did not really serve him well. It made me blow a blink, or excuse me, it made me blow a silence, but I had 6 of them, so who cares? In fact, I could probably learn silence if I wanted to, if it was available. It's not, though. Wow, okay, let's go stat form. There is acquirement here. Believe it or not, I don't think you can mutate profane servitors. I think they're considered undead. Maybe not, I don't know. But I just tried and he didn't get mutated, so that's fine. I can still do damage with him. Do damage to him with Irradiate if I'm so inclined. Although in that case I just kind of punched him to death. Let's go ahead and acquire gold, by the way. Wow, we won the lottery, 2410. That's a lot. It's good stuff. Kill all these Death Knights, no big deal. It's a lot of stuff. Zhengxis are actually no joke. Even with my stat form defenses, they really aren't screwing around. Like a single one, fine, I'll tab through it. Maybe 2, I might be able to tab through it. More than that, then we're getting into danger territory. Even 2, I think I'd have trouble with, unless it was in a hallway. Steaming Fustibalus. What was this now? +9, RF minus, haha. No thank you. Alright, so we found nothing in the crypts, but we got experience, you know. I think we went from level 22 to 23, so We found a enchant armor, I suppose. Gets us to a +2 buckler. Alright, now I really don't want to have to bribe Vaults 5. I mean, I feel like we can do it without bribing. I do wish we had more blink scrolls, though. I'm going to continue to do the smart thing, and I'm going to do depths. Rather than trying to rush right into Vaults 5, because while I avoid depths pretty much always until it's the last thing to do, it is, of course, a little easier than Vaults 5 in the general case. There are some floors, believe it or not, of depths that I'd rather be on Vaults 5, like certain Hanged Man vaults come to mind. Oh, this is fun. If I can get Sojobo next to me, I can just irradiate him to death. There we go. Okay, this is a lot of crap. I'm going to acid here because I don't want to get LRD'd. I did irradiate perhaps one more time than I normally would have. Mainly because I have a lot of mutations, so I'm not super worried about that. Although, like, these guys, they're not screwing around. Did Inner Flame on this thing. Alright, Mr. Two-Headed Ogre that's actually doing stuff when I'm level 23. I see you're not screwing around either. It's kind of wild that we managed to get not get mutated so much, despite getting contaminated all the time. Hey, unarmed combat's 12. Shields is 7.2. Now we're at the point where I think I'm going to train up dodging to absurd levels. What was Octane? Let's get that Octane. And spell it wrong. 23 AC, 51 EV. That'd be pretty cool. What was the other thing I was going to do? There was a source of RC+. Ah, yes, once I level up enough that my MR problem is solved, I can wear both EVs. Because I'll be able to wear that hat to cover my RC. Okay. Let's go into depths 2. I'm irradiating here because honestly Reavers scare me a bit. The fact that they can just bolt you, it can be very bad. Check out our EV climbing. It was 36 a second ago. It's always nice. Alright, let's maybe back off just a little bit. I saw a Deep Elf High Priest dicking around over there. Kind of wanted the Bone Dragon to follow, but I'll take the Priest. Actually, you know what? Fine, I'll take the Spriggan. Prime target for Irradiate, really. Shit. Okay, this is fine. If I'm next to him with other guys next to me, it's totally fine. Because then he won't Hellfire. because he'd hit his friends, or himself, for that matter. I don't want to be approaching that dude with stat form up, because then he can do like 120 damage to me as I'm approaching on every single step, because he could get 2 Hellfires on me. And D-Missile's not doing anything for me against Hellfire. Minus 36 corrode, you guys. It's always fun. Crap. Okay, this is fine. Again, when you're next to him, he's way, 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 way weaker. Just found a book. Oh, we found an Economicon. That's kind of wild. You know, if I felt like it, I could probably get some of that online. I mean, I don't really want to train Necromancy, but we could get Death's Door online if I felt like it. Charms is outrageously high for this character. File that under maybe. I'd prefer to have Vol Clutch or something. I mean, maybe for the Orb Run. Hello, Quicksilver Dragon. See, this is what I'm talking about. These freaking Depths Vaults can be no joke. Considering this dude can just turn off my stat form, which of course is the last thing we want. I'm just going to swing. Let's put up a Spire. Should have done that a while ago. A lot of stuff coming. Can I just fight all this stuff? I probably shouldn't. I probably should just end transformation and walk away from this stuff. I have that luxury as a Spriggan. I mean, bye. Get my Contam off. Be able to irradiate more. Irradiate's the real lifesaver. Just doing like Executioner Axe tier damage to everything around me is pretty nice. Pretty nice way to soften up bigger groups of things than I otherwise would be able to deal with. Not to mention the fact that it nukes their EV, or nukes their AC rather, really fiercely. Blink Scroll, I like that. Tab, tab, tab. Always irradiating the Berserkers. Not really inclined to try to duke it out with them in a fair fight. They pretty much will out melee me, even with incredible defenses for the most part. It's a berserked, you know, it's a berserked enemy, so what do you expect? Okay, we'll go stab form. Crap. Crap, crap, crap. Okay, let's... Clouds, that's poison. Damn it. Man, forget this. Let's teleport. Just drink like a curing, why not? Whatever. Generally, you don't want to just, like, slam your face into the center of this floor repeatedly with Auto Explorer. Like, this is not the way that you want to do this floor. It's kind of funny that I got this because it was the exact one, or one of the exact ones I was thinking of when I said I'd rather be in Vaults 5, maybe, because it requires some of the same strategies. Although, I mean, I'm exaggerating. Obviously, Vaults 5 is worse because of the central staircases you have to you know, sort of workaround, but I mean, like Vaults 5, this kind of wants you to work around the corners. Oh boy, we're marked. It's Magic Map. Let's enslave this dude. Resists, huh? We can easily get to this hatch. I just need to, well, there's your tentacle. Let's probably fog. I gotta get this guy off my ass. The Earth Mage. And then I really have to get the... Sadly, I gotta get the Priest away from me. See, he could Hellfire me right here for like 120. So we'll take a moment and we'll Acid him. We're staying in stat form just for safety's sake, really. I know it's making us move slower, but... There we go. That mark was pretty annoying. But not the end of the world. We didn't use Blink, you know. We didn't use any important resources. I should not have tabbed. There's a Lich. Thankfully he was not an LCS Lich. Could have sworn I still had Liches in my Force more. Get Intelligence. Well, just LRD this at least. That's one use of having memorized LRT. Ending the transformation. Again, there's a Priest on the board, so let's not get bazoned by him. +6 Ring of Dexterity. Something tells me that's not as good as a +6 Ring of Evasion. Yeah, no, that doesn't give me nearly as much EV. And probably never will, even if I got dodging to like 27. Nice pile of gold in here and a sack of spiders. I like that. We have 5. Honestly, I should take evocations to at least 15 with that +3 aptitude. Come on. Just cheating myself if I don't. Have fun with the tentacle, bro. Alright, what a floor. That was no joke, that floor. I see we found a buckler of protection, so we'll swap to that. Having more AC is of course good when you have GDR, which we do in staff form. Sucks to lose the 2 SH, but whatever, we'll get it back. Eventually, with enchant armors. Let's go down. That's a very late game Mara I just found. Hey, Mr. Alstrom, how you doing, man? We are basically finishing this game up. 3 runes in. We finished all of Vaults, all of Crypts. Haven't done Vaults 5, though, actually. And on this particular character, I'm feeling, well, a certain lack of confidence, so we're going through depths first before we do Vaults 5, which is something I typically don't do, but should do. Let's pull Mara up. We'll irradiate the crap out of Mara. Oh god. My clone has a Malign Gateway, which I should have cast first. My clone, he's a jerk. Hit for up to 25 damage. I guess it doesn't get me the stat form damage. If I cast the Malign Gateway first, I would have, it wouldn't have been able to do that. Here we go. Okay, I'm gonna find Mara. Let's just let the tentacle have fun with her. Very good. Coughing for some reason, probably ate too fast. That's no good, man. That's like really killer when you're streaming. Been trying to figure out ways to keep my throat in good condition while talking for like hours at a time. Oh, shit. This is, that's a dispersal trap. That's not good. Do I have any Holy Word? I have 2. You know what? Just because this scares the hell out of me, I'm going to use Agi because I could be stuck in this stupid place getting dispersed a bunch. On the other hand, it looks like my tentacle has really come through for me. Pick up the horn. Now I just need the tentacle to get the hell out of the way. Alright, we leave. That was the fastest vestibule, the fastest horn pickup I think I've ever done. That was outrageously good. All thanks to the tentacle, really, just having really good RNG. Which is funny because I had bad RNG with the dispersal trap. Yeah, I wanted Garion's horn. It's a really nice, you know, you can, it's an evocable. You can use it to make hell beasts, which, well, A, do a ton of damage, and B, shove things around. So you can imagine how useful they are on the orb run, potentially. You can even use the horn just to sort of kill random ancient liches and things like that. With some luck, believe it or not, the horn can even kill orbs of fire, although that's not super likely. Suffice to say, it's a very nice trick. Alright. Still coming through the depths, still only on depths 3. I'm still not really able to tab. Like, look how much damage this crap is doing to me. Really trying to LRD those Quicksilver Dragons. or not LOD, irradiate them. Certainly we didn't want them to get copied by the Roxasha, that's terrifying. Gosh. You know, our attack speed is still pretty slow. 1.2. It's kind of a shame. But, I mean, outside of training a bunch more unarmed combat, there's not a lot I can do about that. And I really, I was really hoping to get to Octane, although I don't know if that's going to happen. 51 EV, we'd need another 10. Although I guess 6 more from the ring is waiting for me, assuming that I'm correct about what my MR is going to end up at level 27. I want to say that Spriggans, because they have the best MR in the game, they only need 1 pip of MR. Or actually, no, I don't think they need any pips of MR at all to be immune to Ancient Liches. Or maybe it's like they're almost immune. Like at level 27 with no MR, it's like a 1% chance to be paralyzed, something like that. Let's see, I'm 24 now. Take off the hat. If I look at Liches, 0% chance already. If I look at Ancient Liches, it's 1%. So it wouldn't really be the end of the world, probably, for me to go ahead and do that. I know it's not the right thing to do, but I think I'm going to do it anyway. The thing I'm looking for is in the vaults. I want that hat back. Yeah, so like this way we have, you know, in stat form, we still have a lot of MR, we have pips of resistance and everything, and we have 6 more EV, so we have 47 EV, which is pretty insane. I'm going to go ahead and do Vaults 5. If I see an Ancient Lich, well, I tell you what I'll do. This is what I should have done the whole time. What am I doing? I'll just grab a freaking Pro Magic Ring. I have a swap, you know? I have a swap that makes more sense than a hat that takes forever to mess around with. Let's go grab that Ring of MR+. And later we won't need it at all. Leave this Convoker friend alone. We'll need him. Immediate Warden. No good. Alright. Let's... Huh. Do I even want to try to Stair Dance? I probably do. Let's try it. I mean, we'll go up, we'll go down until it doesn't work anymore, and then we'll possibly get into our Blink Scroll collection. Look at how good Irradiate is. It's so stupid. I love it. Go down, he locks it. But the thing is, it doesn't matter that he locked it, because now he's next to me. I can just do this. Oh, well, he's being an asshole. He moved away. But we've got, like, Acid, and then the Tentacle just wrecks him. So, go up. It's pretty good. Go down. At this point, the thing I'm most afraid of is the Tentacle going hostile. Look how good Irradiate is. Let's go up. D-missile just failed. Also, did that tentacle just go hostile right as I was going up? Yep, your Eldritch Tentacle suddenly becomes enraged, so I was afraid of that. Is there perhaps a hatch? No, there's not. So I tell you what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to go stat form, we're going to have to tele, and then go down. So we immediately get ported. Because the only alternative was to get meleeed by a freaking angry tentacle, which of course we don't want. I have a ton of agility. Let's use one. I have a lot of might, actually. I'm going to go ahead and use that too. And turn this into a nice little fighting zone. Landing area type dealio. Alright, Vaults 5 is effectively done. We've done the hard part. We've gotten away from the center and into a safe spot. And we have malign gateways, so even if we couldn't melee stuff, we can kill just about anything. Wow, look at that Morning Star. That's a stat stick. God damn. I can't be paralyzed, right? No, of course not. Let's, gosh, let's clouds. Jeez, let's agi. This is starting to spook me a bit. That's a lot of Ettins. Respect the Ettin. Let's enslave this one. He's my friend now. I'm going to acid this priest because he scares me. Ah, shit. There it is. There's that potential double hit. Ice Blast will finish him. Let's put up regen like it should have been a long time ago. Back off to perhaps a safer area. This tentacle deal with my problems. We are almost officially Octane. What was it? 51 EV? I see that I have another viewer. I'll just invite him over to the Twitch. Yeah, 51 EV. So 4 more points. Hey. Thanks for the follow, Deathrave. Hope you're having a good night tonight. Just getting some Vaults 5 action done here. Pretty much done. It's just clean up, you know, on this floor. These nearly Octane defenses are really doing some good work for us, you know. I let myself get a little too contaminated again, but whatever. I'm really not that worried about my mutations with 5 potions and mutations in my inventory. Local man leans on statue crutch. He can't keep getting away with it. No, you're not allowed to make fun of me on characters with +3 transmutations aptitude for going transmutations. And also, I didn't during the part of the game that mattered, I was relying more on blade hands and believe it or not, malign gateway more than anything. He can't keep getting away with it. No, statue form on this character was not really a way to win the game. It was a way to make the game a little less tedious. The Spriggan could have -1 transmute and he'd still be a stone lad. You know, I actually, I am going to protest. I don't think so. Because the thing that made me get transmutations in the first place was that I found blade hands, and I did find 6 snakes, which I would have probably trained 5 transmutations for that, but I don't, let me think, would I have, nah, I don't think I would have. I think I would have, with -1 Teamoots apt, I probably would have just cheesed Malign Gateway, and had a really tedious, long game. Although, I mean, it's possible. I'm not gonna lie to you, it's possible. Let's drop the Staff of Energy, we don't need that anymore. Let's drop Tomahawks, we don't need those. Turn those off for pickup. Those are down here, right? Yeah, they are. I can drop this Hat of MR since we are swapping the ring if need be. No, it seems like overkill that I'm training so much dodging, but I have my heart set. I have my heart set on getting Octane for once. Wow, they just walked right away from the tentacle. And transformation. I'll walk towards him. I'll use blade hands actually. I want to be able to move it full speed when I'm near a priest, because they can do like 60 damage to you. Likewise, this stuff is scary enough that I want to be able to have full control over my move. Tentacles just wrecking dudes off screen. You want to talk about a broken spell. Tentacle probably fits the bill more than Staff Form does, although it deserves to be broken given that it's level 7 in 2 schools. Well, the only reason I say this is because on a Spriggan you can get to it incredibly fast due to the +4 translocations apt. It's effectively like you have, so you have -2 in summoning, so that's effectively like having +2 in both. So you can get a level 7 spell online pretty insanely fast under those circumstances. I don't think it's broken, I mean, because you're still a glass cannon, but it is pretty powerful. I don't know how advisable it is considering, you know, if you're going to rush to that and use that to do everything, because then you're getting half experience on everything, but I mean, on the other hand, you basically can't die unless you behave with great hubris. Let's check out this robe. I just want like an Archmagi robe at this point. Oh, that's sick as hell. God damn. Doesn't really matter because I'm in stat form, but wow. MR plus, RF plus plus. Certainly an upgrade. Anything else interesting here? Not really any artifacts. Wow. +4 Ring of Slaying, I don't need that. This ring has about 1 billion things on it, but none of them I really care about. And -5. Haha. Evocable Cloak of Stat Form, so you can stat form on Trog guys. You know, I am actually open to a potion that instead of turning you into, like, changing lignification so that it gives you a random good form instead. Although that would kind of ruin the fact that it's good for negative energy stuff in the early game, so maybe not. I kind of want to make Degeneration have some kind of positive side effect, so it's not just like a stupid, haha, this messed with you kind of problem, you know, kind of thing gumming up the works of the ID minigame, so to speak. My inclination is to make it do either like a positive form as well, or maybe maybe like an MR+, because there's no consumables right now that give you MR+ temporarily, and I'd like there to be one for a variety of reasons. And I'd be totally okay with it nuking your stats at the same time, just to give you a reason to have dgen on. I need to talk to Doesn't about that though and get his opinion, and Wesley for that matter. Alright, check it out. Let's go see if these robes are ArcMagi, because that would give me more AC in stat form. Also, Rogue Shenanigans, you missed the game memeing me. There's an orange crystal plate that I can't wear. Also, it looks like ArcMagi already spawned, so let's just wear that. Come on, Convoker, leave me alone. Alright, so check this out. If I go stat form now, AC 30, EV 49. Alright, end transformation. Wear the ArcMagi, go stat form, 2 more points of AC, 32 AC. Pretty cool, right? So ArcMagi is really nice for stat form. Get a little extra defense for no cost at all, since you're not really in the robe. Now, you won't have the ArcMagi effect casting more stuff once you're in stat form, but who cares, you know? Oh, this is kind of cute. This is a lot of shit. Let's go up and just rest a minute. It's just a bunch of Bogart summons. In fact, I'm gonna use this rod that I specifically picked up to kill Bogarts. That's a clever little Bogart. He went to the edge of line of sight where the rod cannot reach. Gozag 90 defenses, Gateway, can't wait to get pied to death in Zot. That would work pretty well against this character, considering I'm essentially not allowed to have SH on account of being too small to wear anything but a buckler. On the other hand, D-Missile will hopefully stop that from happening. But yeah, we are tanky as hell. It's one of the reasons it's super fun to go statue form on something like a Spriggan or an Octopode or whatever, because suddenly your defenses get just way better than they have any business being. Because you've trained the whole game to be a dodge guy, and then suddenly you're an AC guy too. Do I paralyze? No, I don't. Just enslave these guys for the moment. I let myself get super contaminated. It's fine though. This is a really bizarre depths floor, I have to say. I don't know if I even recognize this. But it's very cramped and I don't like it. Let me put it that way. Okay. I don't like the fact that there's a Annihilator here either. Let's acid for safety. There we go. Stat form doesn't drain EV. I don't think so, does it? Maybe it used to. I guess I can check. Slow but extremely robust stone statue. I mean, it slows all your actions, but I don't think it messes with your EV. I could check real fast. Statue form. Nope, doesn't seem to be doing anything to your defenses other than giving you AC. Just slows your actions down a lot. Well, gargoyles kind of get an EV penalty insofar as their dodge aptitude blows, but it's not quite the same thing, I know. By the way, we're almost 27 dodging. I think that's the... Whoa, shit though. He just force lands me for big, big damage. Give me that D-missile back. Dodge coin. Hey Hard, what's up? Hardwood, what's up, man? You just got here in time to watch this dude slam me against walls with a force lance. Well, he couldn't one-shot me with it or anything. But yeah, that would have been pretty ugly. There is a reason why I'm wearing the Scarf of Spirit Shield. I'm not about to be one-shotted. No, I tell you, if I lose this streak, it's going to be the saddest day ever. Hey, Dodger 27. It's going to be the saddest day ever because I can already see how it's going to happen if it does happen. It's going to be like 2 minutes into a video. It's going to be like some, you know, if I had to guess, unless I make a really bad mistake, it's going to be like I get shafted on D1 and I'm just going to have to like hang my head in shame and be like, yep, this happened. It's going to be like pure RNG. Yeah, some bullshit entry vault, shafting, I go downstairs and there's like a centaur with an acid wand, some stupid thing's gonna happen. And I really hope that doesn't happen. Like, I hope that if I lose the streak, it's my fault. And it's like, it's not to say I'm playing totally perfectly. There are several places during the streak I could have died, and it would have been like, there would have been some honor in it where I could say, whoa, yeah, okay, I messed up here, here, and here. But like, I know my luck. It kind of depends, Hardwood. The record is 33 wins if you're not counting 10 games where the guy had this melee bug that they didn't know about that was doubling his damage, which he doesn't count it. But if you want to count the ones that had that bug, it's 43 wins. Well, early Natasha almost killed me this game. Yeah. But that's because that was really 100% my fault because I just didn't realize how much damage she could do. Hey, Neo Cow plays. Yeah, early game Natasha's no joke. I mean, I think she does a little bit too much damage to show up on D2. I mean, forget the fact that she summons because you can kind of get around it. It's the fact that she's faster than you and can choose to just like walk up and throw stuff at you for, what is it, 12 damage? Yeah, 3d4 damage. Not even typed damage, so if you were lucky enough to find a resistance early, it doesn't matter. If you don't die, you'll survive. Yeah, I know, right? But like 12 damage, there are characters that get to D2 and they don't even have 12 hit points, you know. So it's pretty bad. I don't think she's too dangerous. Some things need to be real threats. Well, I want threats that the player can work around, and there are going to be some. You know, there's a non-zero number of scenarios where you find Natasha on D2 and she just immediately wrecks your shit and there's like nothing you can do about it. Now, I mean, that didn't happen this game, but it almost happened. She rarely comes up unless you're clearing the full levels. Well, what's the alternative? To dive down to D3 and then have to deal with like a centaur without being leveled up? I mean, I've never thought that not full clearing was the right thing to do anywhere but a TC run, but maybe. I mean, with this new trap system, it's worth thinking about, you know, reevaluating this kind of thing. Okay, let me statue form is hungerless. Sick. Sick, sick, sick. I don't need to train spellcasting anymore. Take evocations at 20 because it's virtually free with my massive aptitude. Take transmutations to 20, that'll increase my AC. Earth's already 10. It's kind of funny that it's cheaper to train transmutations and it's at 15 than Earth, which is at 10. But that's, you know, aptitude. New traps are just kind of weird because it's like it does a step up in frequency at D10. So if you find layer before that, I mean, basically, it was smart to go into layer immediately before. Now it's like stupid to do anything other than go into layer immediately because otherwise you're risking getting dumped from like D10 to D12, which you really don't want to do, you know, on most characters because you can get dumped into really, really, really ugly vaults and things like that. By the way, we're not quite diesel, or octane rather. I need 51 EV to be considered octane. We just missed it. Actually, I am going to test one thing. I'm curious if you can get. Let's see. Yeah, no, 6 dex is not as good as 6 EV, pretty much ever. I thought maybe at 27 dodging that'd be different, but nope. Well, rogue shenanigans with Gateway. I mean, sure, hunger's an issue, but if you find a single staff of energy, which are relatively common. Yeah, and that's the other thing about shafting is you can, of course, get multi-shafted. Yeah, I'm kind of refusing to play Trunk right now, NeoCow plays, because I don't want to get freaking scattershotted in the early game. There's enough stupid shit in the early game that just kind of one-shots you if it goes poorly, that like I don't need to subject myself to even more of Ebering's bad design. So I'm gonna go Blade Hands, so I have full control over fighting Boris here. Can he one-shot me? How much damage does this Iron Shot do? Boris. 3d37, 97, 104, 111. Technically he can't one-shot me. Actually, yeah, he can. We'll just use one of our giant piles of silence and then wreck him. Blade Hand style. But yeah, I am playing 0.23, so I have to deal with the brunt of the bad design choices. Just not the early game, wands. Don't you shove me off the staircase, big fat elephant. Irradiate continues to just wreck face well into the late game. Speaking of Irradiate, very good tool against caustic strikes. Doesn't he was making fun of me the other day because I like to use lamps of fire against these guys because they're RF, right? So you think it wouldn't do much, but I don't know. I think it's great. Like you're doing pretty nice chip damage versus them the whole time you're swinging. All right, we finally got a mutation. One that I guess I don't care about that much, kinda. We have 8 potions of mutation now though, so really not a huge deal. Let's see if we start taking a bunch of stat damage. Almost 20,000 gold, by the way. That's a lot. I mean, we could just pretty much have a free game from this point forward by bribing everything. Time to duke it out with a Juggernaut. Just put Zod on my tab. Pretty much. Speaking of tabbing, I mean, we're not even level 27 yet. on account of the fact that we've blown so much experience using malign gateways. So I probably will clear Zot 1 through 4 just to get to level. What the? Whoa! I haven't seen a Grey Draconian in a long time. I don't think they spawn in Zot normally. Or maybe they do and I'm just blind. Really like this run up to Zot, by the way. This particular vault is really cool, giving you themed rooms as you approach. It's like, it's nothing too interesting, it's just charming. You know, it's not like a big challenge or anything. But it's like, I really like these little previews of what you're getting into. For a newer player especially, I think this would be cool. Stealth and push temple. Stealth, honestly, like, stealth I used to think was stupid, but it's growing on me for the purposes of like early game streaking. It really is. Also, that was a scythe of distortion he was hitting me with. Could have gotten abyssed, not that it really matters at this point. But yeah, I mean, I don't know, stealth is just really, it can save you in wacky situations. Enchant the buckler. Is this a broom closet? No, it's just a totally disconnected area. Not super common for that to happen in depths, but it can. Yeah, stealth also does have very big apps for a lot of species. Like at +5, I went and got 5 points of stealth, I think immediately on this character, because it's almost like, why not? It's free, and it pushes up so fast, like in the early game, that you're going to get more effect out of that. And it's like, if that is the difference between Sigmund seeing you and not seeing you, that can save the character. On the other hand, I used to think it was dumb because it's like it's doing nothing for actually letting you overcome threats. So it's I don't know, I'm still a little bit on the fence. I can see it both ways though. Should we go into a ziggurat for a minute? We really don't need to. On this character, I'm sad that I don't have Octane, but it's not like it matters. I just wanted to do it, you know. We would need some kind of artifact though, like something with Dex on it to actually get to 51 EV, or Cloak of Starlight would do it, but then we'd have to give up Spirit, which of course we don't want to do. So, I mean, I don't think I should really waste time thinking about it. On the other hand, we have like 1 billion gold, so I'm gonna equip it on D1 just to get the that's cheating. Wow, do we not have any dexterity? Yeah, okay, actually, I guess we do. We could wear the +5 dex Lajatong. But that's, I want it to be real Octane, not Octane at the last minute. I'm going to call a merchant real fast, just one, probably. Assorted Antiques. Potion of Magic, that's cool. Wand of Clouds, that's good. Actually, we'll get 3 shops. I have so much gold. I should probably get a distillery because that's better, but whatever, we have enough. Let's just get antiques again. So enchant armor. Scatter shot's really good. Okay. We're still going to have enough for 3 bribes. That's a shitload of bribes. Call a merchant. Pretty happy with my jewelry. So I think we're going to go for assorted antiques again. Teleport, sack spiders, fear. Alright, this stuff's pretty good. Get an agility too. Antique Zot entrance vault, see? I kind of played a little Minecraft here and built some structures. Spruce up the place a bit. How much digging do we have? 4? Eh. Let's go up. Yeah, the Quicksilver Dragon scared me, that's why I pulled him up. He could have shoved me off the staircase, and that would have made me a sad person, but didn't happen, so whatever. Hey, NaNe Badger, what's up, man? Catching the end of this run. Have fun blinking around me, guys. See how that works out for you when I have access to irradiate. Okay, I'm actually perfectly happy that he is berserking. That means I don't have to worry about him turning off my stat form. I will take a berserking Quicksilver Dragon over a regular Quicksilver Dragon any day of the week. By the way, we're immune to Ancient Liches now, so I can drop Pro Magic. So that kind of proves my point. Spriggans have such outrageous MR naturally that I'm just immune to every single MR threat in the game. Whoa! Hey, buddy. Do we have Dragon Form? Shit, we do. Let's go up. Let's just put this on M, I guess. No, that's where Deflect Missiles is. Let's put it on F then, I guess. There he is. We'll go, you know, once I was a Spriggan. But now I am a dragon. I should be able to just melee him. There we go. Why is Dragon Form good there? Well, first of all, Dragon Forms, it gives me RF++ and RC-. So that gives me 3 pips of RF total when combined with my amulet. And then Dragon Form also is just insanely offensive. I mean, you do a lot of damage in Dragon Form. So it's really it's a good Orb of Fire killer. Long story short. Yeah, that's the other thing. I mean, you can kill Orbs of Fire with stat form, but like, do you really want to be moving slow? And even though stat form is more defensive typically, without the RF, I'd probably be taking more damage in stat form. You know, slow movement plus lack of so many pips of RF means that Dragon Form is better. Although I have a much better way of killing Orbs of Fire than either of those plans, which is I just cast Malign Gateway and walk away. It just was sort of annoying. The positioning for that in that particular spot was annoying for me to make that happen. Also, we just got, yeah, I would have had to walk towards the unknown. We got shafted into Zot 2. Pretty likely thing to happen these days. Alright, come on. Moth of, Ghost Moth didn't want to die there. Try not to get slowed. Fail miserably. I'm gonna lamp these guys. We're moving at pretty bad speed. Let's put a spire here. Bust out the blade hands, so I'm attacking a little faster. Isn't it dumb that the safe way to play is to dive down levels instead of progressing down? I mean, yeah. I mean, the dumbest thing about it is that the smart thing to do is now to progress backwards, like go to Zot 4 and then go back up to Zot 1. I mean, that's dumb as hell. It was kind of always that way because shafts existed, but now it's like shafts are so unbelievably common in the late game that you can almost, it's almost guaranteed you're going to run into them in one or more of these branches, so you might as well just plan for it, you know. Just kind of, I don't know, feels stupid to me. What am I doing here? Let's put up regen. Let's, do I want to waste acid? I don't need to waste acid. I just need to irradiate a couple times. Keep stat form up. You can berserk, I don't care. My defenses are great. Although, I do have Lamp of Fire. Good. Again, I busted out Blade Hands because that guy has LCS. That's not how I would fix it, a NaNe Badger. But that's, no, that wouldn't fix it really, because the idea is that, I mean, you can still be shafted even if you've been to the floor. The reason you clear it backwards is you clear like Zot 4, and then if I were to go up to Zot 3 and get shafted again, I don't care because I've already cleared Zot 4, so there's nowhere dangerous for me to fall into. So what's supposed to be like a dangerous thing becomes just this annoying, tedious thing where you have to, the punishment for being shafted is you now have to just like press Shift G and auto travel up again. Like it is pretty lame. The only reason I'm not doing that exact thing right now is that the character's just really strong and I don't care, you know, to implement it. But like on any character where I was having trouble, I would do the backwards. See, look, there's another shaft. See, it's virtually guaranteed you're going to get multiple shafts on in this game now. Should spawn new monsters around you. See, you know, the devs of this game have a history of making really dumbass decisions, and that already existed, sort of. You may be memeing and sort of referencing that, but are you familiar with the magic of shadow traps? You're Ebering. See, I don't believe you, because you told me you're British, and I happen to know that Ebering is not British. So, nice meme. Nice meme, Rogue Shenanigans, if that is your real name. It is my real name. Well, we're, the game, by virtue of shafting me twice, has finally convinced me to do the thing backwards, just for, not out of safety, but out of desire not to have to deal with this shit anymore. It's successfully made it more annoying for me to do it front ways than to just do it backwards, which happens almost every single game now that I think about it. Oh shit, that's a cursed toe. What do I want to do about a cursed toe? Can't gateway from here. I could fog here. We have a lot of fog. Let's fog. Should I dig? 4 digging, that's not a lot. No real reason for me to use digging. Oh, there's an Orb of Fire. Orb of Fire plus toe. This is shitty enough that we are going to pop a haste. We are going to go dragon form. We are going to pop a might. And if need be, I will fog again. Also, I need to put regen up. Hasted and mighted. This thing really should be dead by now. We've swung like 20 times. There we go. I should probably go back into Blade Hands. Oh, this is pretty dangerous. Let's heal wounds. Let's walk away. I didn't want to be in dragon form because I could take extra damage from the ice. But I didn't want to be in Blade Hands because my defense is blow. Hey, Asimov, what's up, man? Back to the safety of stat form. Still got that toe on the board, but it's fine. He didn't percent himself when we were fighting the Orb of Fire, or we would have possibly had to get clever. Maybe used a blink scroll or something. Not that you can really effectively use them here. You can still use them just to do regular blinks, which is good enough. If you use them correctly. Yeah, blink scroll with fog, and then like all the bad tiles are filled up by enemies. You know, you can use the fog to do what's called a ghetto blink. This is good. I'm just doing this. And he dies to the two tentacles. I have no idea how he killed the first tentacle, but whatever. I think, yeah, I found minor magic early, and so this guy basically became a wizard at that point. Most of the early game was done with Conjure Flame shenanigans and Sticks to Snakes plus Inner Flame shenanigans, because I found the Book of Changes as well. Okay, that's a scarf. That's another Spirit Shield scarf. Okay. Not that I would really trade my Spirit Shield for anything. I just like to know what things are. Okay, time to do Zot backwards, because that makes sense. Okay, so this is kind of memeing me. We're going to dig just so we have enough space for a tentacle. I think he probably killed the toe. He certainly killed some stuff. Oh, 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 that's another toe. Dig. Tentacle, walk away. I need to enslave this thing. Keep walking. Didn't really want to get AF slowed is the thing. Not in Spriggan form, that's for sure. What has been my favorite feature removed by the devs? Probably rods. Which, to be honest, rods did constitute a certain amount of like shitty, you know, inventory management problems. But I mean, boy, they were a lot of fun. I'm not going to pretend that rods were not awesome. And I don't really necessarily see the problem with being able to focus your entire character around evocations if you want to. Check mutes. Nothing bad. You're right. I should be paying more attention to that in case I get like minus scrolls. If I get minus scrolls, I don't know about it. We're in serious damn trouble. You know, I could get like surprised. Picellus is a weird god. Honestly, I don't fault them at all for removing him. I do fault them for taking Wu Jan and making him stupid compared to how he used to be. I really enjoyed his wall hop whenever you want iteration. But yeah, Picellus was just... There were some issues with that god that I don't know if I have a good idea as to how to unscrew them, basically. Is that so, Neo Cowplays? You're gonna laugh when you see my longest streak then, which is like half of it is DDARs. I actually think that DDAR is the strongest start in the game. But the thing is, you don't really play them like you're trying to be an evoker guy focused on evocations. You you focus on melee is what you do. You just pretend that you're a guy with an axe from the start, even if you aren't. and you basically just use the wands to defeat any really stupid thing that happens in D1, D2, D3. I mean, don't get me wrong, you do use wands, but not as like the primary way of killing things. Because you can't do that anymore is the thing. Like, you can't. Once upon a time when rods existed, you could be like a pure evoker dude, where your character was almost entirely focused around evocations, which made, weirdly enough, that made kobolds pretty fun. But after rods went away, it became not really possible anymore. Okay, back up to Zot 2. I don't really need to be clearing this stuff anymore, to be honest, but we've come so far, I might as well finish the job. I'm going to mark myself on purpose. I guess this is... disconnected. XP is XP, pretty much. That and like, you know, it's all things being equal, it's better and better practice to, you know, not have stuff waiting for you on this floor during the orb run. Something as simple as a Quicksilver Dragon can really turn your orb run into a crapshoot. No, we're not going to be... You'll very, very, very rarely see me farm Abyss for experience. It's almost never really necessary. I mean, I did it the other game because I wanted the Shield of Resistance. I needed the gold, and I pretty much had to do that if I wanted to get it at all. But like, that was one of the very rare situations where it felt like the right thing to do. Hey buddy, let's turn statue form back on. Let's irradiate these things to death. Good. He actually did blast my stat form off. I had to turn it back on. Thankfully you do get a turn. Like, that's the one saving grace of that system. Transmutations would be significantly worse in the late game if it just turned off your transmutations instantly rather than giving you a turn. I would agree with that row shenanigans, just because it can do really stupid things like dump a Silent Spectre behind a wall next to you, and then like dump a Sentinel, a Hell Sentinel next to you as well. So you can imagine how not fun that kind of thing is. Am I going to Convoker Z5? Yeah. I was hoping I could find like a... Well, you know, come to think of it, there's no reason for me to do that. You know, I have Bribe. So why don't we just kill that Convoker? I just realized I don't need to do that trick, so goodbye. Don't want to leave him alive for the orb run, because he could, like, Word of Recall Panlords on the floor to me. Yeah, I mean, we have 15,000 gold. That's a lot, guys. Do Bribe Branch. This protects me to a large degree against getting teleported. By the way, I didn't demissile before coming down, so that was a mistake. Okay. Bribe is already not white anymore, meaning it's been significantly used up. Bribe is almost gone already. Got a Cursed Toe friend. I hope he doesn't start tormenting. Bribe is used up. Well, we're going to rebribe. You know what we're going to do? Screw this, man. I'm just going to go out of... I'm going to go back into Spriggan form. We're going to pop an Agility. Both the lungs aren't teletrapped. Yeah, right? I mean, most of the stuff is on my side. I might as well just get the orb. This would be less... This is kind of stupid what I'm doing. I really shouldn't be doing this. Honestly, even with bribe up. Why don't I back off? I was going to go straight for the orb, but I'm just showboating. Let's let this stuff kill each other a little bit. Needless risk feels birthday, man. I know, right? I mean, it's just, you feel so invincible with double bribed Zot 5. Feel more experience. I bet I do. I left a freaking tentacle over there. I have Apport, don't I? Greedily going for 4 gold pieces over here. Hey, we're marked. Excellent. I want to be marked. Come get some, baby. That's an orb of fire. Let the tentacle kill that orb of fire. Somehow that tentacle died. Nice. Hey, a haste potion. The bribe is over, but I mean, whatever. We've caused quite a lot of havoc on this floor. Probably didn't even need to waste the 6,000 gold, if I'm being honest. Is it really a waste? Not really. Any kind of risk that this floor could have offered is sort of invalidated, so I think it was a good use of resources. What else was I going to do with it? Bribe the orb run, but I still have enough gold to do that, so I guess it doesn't matter. I swear to God, stop dispersing. Oh my God, all right. Trying to stay out of stat form unless I'm in the middle of fighting. What is this nonsense? One of these early game vaults in Zot? Look at this. Only there's a Zot trap in it. Alright. And there's a Necronomicon, that's kind of cool. Still, I don't think I've ever seen this vault in Zot 5. Octopode next. Yeah, we do have Octopode next, don't we? Octopode, well, no, is it? No, we don't. Do we? Octopode Fire Elementalist, is that what it is? Let me look. Actually, no, you're right. It's Octopode Fire Elementalist. That'll be a hoot. Hopefully we get a good starter entrance vault. All right, let's tally. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Grab. Yeah, Fire Elementalist is actually not a particularly good level 1 because Flame Tongue is just crap. I mean, if you have water on D1, it's nice. Holy shit, we're already on D3. That's insane. Well, that's really good. Let's... Holy word, I actually wanted to fog. Whoops. Yeah, I think Spriggan Speed let me kind of cheese the orb run there. That took me straight from depths 5 to, yeah, that's incredible. Alright, final boss, it's the Ice Fiend, who actually just became neutral, so never mind. By the way, I don't know if any of you actually saw the level 1 of this character, but like this was hellish. This D1 was crap, because you can see there's nowhere to stair dance or column dance around. So I had to come up through here, and there were freaking jackals up here in this area, and so it's like I guess I had places to dance around, but yeah, it was shit. And I think I ended up at some point I screwed up and I had to like pull a jackal all the way down here, and I was sitting there like sling bulleting it and hoping to finish it off before I ran out of ammo. You know, it was not a fun time. So that was my D1 trial and tribulation. This is a very crappy entrance vault. This is the kind of thing I'd probably remove. Personally, I think that every single entrance vault should have a column to dance around, like at least one. You know, just because otherwise, I don't know, it feels silly to have entrance vaults that are just like needlessly challenging in a way that RNG can sort of force you to lose the game. Not really your own choices, you know. Anyway, we got the win. That's always cool. That's game number 18 in the bag. We can go ahead and start. I'm not going to do any moves or anything, but as usual, I'll just see what the entrance is for the next character. Let me just verify, look at the list, and make sure I'm not wrong. Human Air Elementalist, Brigand Arcane Marksman, OpFE, Octopode Fire Elementalist. Alright. There it is. Oh, sick as hell, guys. Alright, the game's probably won. Barring a bad shaft. This is probably one of the best starts I could have asked for, because, like, check it out. I have a spot that I'm almost entirely safe in. Not only do I have water to make steam in, which is actually kind of dangerous for this character if I don't level up a little bit. I need to check how much damage steam does, actually. 3 to 16 damage. So technically I could one-shot myself with steam, which is perhaps not great. But the more important thing is that I can just, like, swim across this deep water, you know? The Halberd Knoll with net has something to say to you. This is the vault that ended my first tournament 20 streak. Yeah, this vault looks like dog shit if I didn't happen to be an amphibious species. Oh yeah, sling in view, that's handy. No ammo though. And I think I'd rather be able to melee things unless I... Well, I mean, if it's cursed, that'd be really bad because my tentacles are really, really helpful for constrict. Yeah, I have a fire spell, but I have to be very careful not to... like if I'm in water and I cast Flame Tongue on somebody, I could actually just instantly kill myself with, yeah, if you don't steam clad yourself. Once I'm level 2, that'll be a lot cooler. I guess I could, like, lure dudes onto the water, and then I'm not on the water, and then I Flame Tongue them, and then they die instantly. That's cool. Probably be okay. But, like, imagine this floor not as an octopode. Like, it's just so wide open. It doesn't look very safe to me. Like, I'm happy about it because I'm an octopode, but like things can come from this direction, like literally all around me. I could just have, you know, a crowd of goblins, gnolls, and whoever else coming to rip my tentacles off. So it's a little spooky, you know, but not so bad on account of my fish nature. A merfolk instead. I think I'd probably prefer to be a merfolk, because then I'd probably be like a gladiator or something if I was a merfolk and I could just like polearm things from here. But I'm not unhappy, not with Flame Tongue. I think I probably will train stealth up to like 5, since it's fairly free at +4 aptitude. Just realized that both my tournament 20 streaks are ended on D1. I mean, yeah, man, I don't know if you caught this earlier, but I said that if I were to lose this streak, if I don't make it, I just know it's going to be like the saddest thing ever, where I start a video and then like 2 minutes later, I'm just fucking dead, because it happened on D1. Yeah, at the entry vault, exactly. Didn't you have some kind of wacky thing in CSDC as well, where you had like a gnoll right in a 1x1 hallway? And he just murdered you? Was that you, or was that someone else? I remember somebody had that situation come up, and it was just really ugly in some CSDC game. Of course, that matters less because you get a mulligan. That wasn't you. Maybe that was Dynast. I don't remember. But anyway, yeah, this looks like it's a pretty decent start. About as good as I could ask for. But I don't. I'm not going to start now because we've been at this for a little while. As usual, I'd like to thank you guys for coming by. It's always good to chat with you people, and always good to discuss DCSS. You know, hopefully we can keep this streak going next time. Game number 19, Octopode Fire Elementalist, and then after that we get a little break with Deep Dwarf Assassin. So if I win this, then we're pretty well guaranteed to get to 20 at least, which is that's a nice round number for streaking difficult combos, I have to say. Well, mostly difficult. Obviously, Deep Dwarf is not that hard, but hey, NeoCow, thanks for the follow, man. Appreciate that. And then FoSk, yeah. The DDAs is it's easy, but then I have to pay for it with the FoSk, and the FoSk is probably the remaining run that I am scared of the most in this entire list, except for maybe Formicid Fire Elementalist later on. I'm really not a fan of D1 Formicids who aren't fighters. Anyway, that's going to be it for the night. Hope you guys enjoyed. Until next time, I am signing out. Did you know that there are many ways that you can help support this channel? Read about them on rosecrypto.com/support. At Rose Crypto, you can learn all about cool things like the Brave web browser, Bitcoin, and other cryptocurrencies. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe.